Yes, Saloni Brahmbhatt.
Yeah, sir, I'm Janvi. I'm using Saloni's system. And sir,
What
extremely
is your name?
sorry. My name is Janvi.
Janvi.
Yeah, Janvi Sonaiya.
Let's start.
Yeah, sir, I mean, due to technical glitches, we could not connect. But yeah, to start with, sir,
Janvi what?
Sonaiya, Sonaiya.
Okay, come, let's start, Janvi.
Yeah, yeah. So to start with, please tell me, like, how did you get to know about this whole snooping scam? Like, at what point in time were you aware about the whole thing of Pegasus?
In May of this year, May
Hmm.
2021, a representative of Forbidden Stories, which is a not for profit media organization based in Paris, France, a representative of that organization, her name is Sandhya Ravishankar. She's a journalist based in Chennai. She came to meet me. And she told me that your name figures in this list, which has been uh, accessed by Forbidden Stories, and we want to do a forensic analysis of your phone. So I
Okay.
said, how do I ensure that all the data in my phone will be
Safe.
secure? So she convinced me, and then her colleagues in Paris, Phineas Ruckert, and another lady, they convinced me. So I allowed my phone,
Hmm.
the data in it, to be downloaded, put onto a cloud. It will happen not. It happened twice. Once it was online. Once it was directly done by Sandhya. And then about a month and a half later, they told me that your phone was compromised in the between the months of March, April, and May 2018. So I said, who compromised it? He said, we don't know. I said, my iPhone appears secure, and they said, no, they can crack even iPhones. They can snoop into it. Then they asked me, what stories were you working on at that particular point of time? So I said at that particular point of time, I was working on two stories, which I think were, quote unquote, somewhat sensitive. One was about the late Dhirubhai Ambani's foreign assets, which
Okay.
were moving from one tax haven to another tax haven to a third tax haven to a fourth one across different jurisdictions. And the late Dhirubhai Ambani, as you know, was one of India's richest men. And we sent a message to his, we sent a message to his, uh, we sent email messages to his older son, Mukesh Ambani ji, and his younger son, Anil Ambani, with a detailed questionnaire uh, saying that, please answer these questions. They didn't respond. And the article appeared in May 2018 in NewsClick. It appeared over there. And you can read it. It's available
Yeah.
for you to read. And there was another article, and not an article, I was working on a book which looked at the real face of Facebook in India. We were looking at how Facebook and WhatsApp were being misused. It
Hmm.
was big, it had become a propaganda weapon, how it was used to spread disinformation, hate speech, and so on. So these were the two articles. Until yesterday night, I didn't know that it was Pegasus software. So now I know that it's Pegasus software. And before you ask me more questions, may I anticipate some of your questions and try and respond to some of
Yeah,
them
sir.
even before?
One of them
Okay,
was
go.
about the silence of like our government on this whole issue. Like, what do you have to say about it?
You know, the government in its response has said that, look, we they are not confirming or denying that some government agency purchased this Pegasus software. Now, this Pegasus software is very expensive. It
Yeah.
costs millions of dollars. Besides, Pegasus says it will only sell its software to a government agency.
Government, and they get licensed for it.
So even if I, as an individual, I had all the millions and millions of dollars, I still wouldn't be able to purchase it.
Yeah.
Now, so that was the first point. Secondly, as a citizen of this country, not just as a journalist, I'm concerned that if the government is spending the taxpayers' money, that's my money and your money, to purchase software to snoop on me and spy on me, I should know what's going on. I want to know if what the government is saying that they followed the law. Have they followed the law? The law says that before you snoop on a person, you have to get a prior approval from the secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. Did they get that? I'm not sure. I want to know. In the next few days, we will know the other people on whom they have snooped. But tell me, I want to really understand, how is it that Pegasus says its software can be used for pedophiles, to track drug traffickers,
for multiple reasons.
Kidnap children, locate survivors who are stuck behind, who are beneath rubble of a collapsed building, or to prevent airplanes from being attacked by dangerous drones. You tell me, these 40 plus journalists in India, are they all criminals? Are they all terrorists?
Why were they tapped?
Why were they tapped? And I'll tell you why they were tapped. You check the profiles of all these journalists, and all of them were writing articles that were critical of the present government. They were not part of the Godi media. Arnab Goswami's name is not part of this list. So you see, they picked on journalists
who were working on substantial stories against the government.
And who were critical of the government, who were asking questions. Not asking questions to Mr. Modi like Mr. Akshay Kumar was asking. You know, how do you like to eat your mango? Like
no one would tap their.
They were asking questions. So you can see there's a pattern in the way in which this surveillance has happened. And in my opinion, perhaps we need a joint parliamentary committee, but we certainly need independent organizations to verify the authenticity or otherwise of these claims and these counterclaims. And let me be very, very clear to you. I think this is a danger not only for the privacy of individuals, you and me. Our privacy is being invaded. Not only is it a danger to the right to free expression, freedom of expression, which is a fundamental right which has been given to every citizen of this country. Okay? It's a fundamental right of every citizen, including the journalists of this country. It is a threat to that. And last but not the least, it is a threat to the future of journalism and the future of democracy in this country. That's why I believe that what the Pegasus disclosures the Pegasus project disclosures are very, very, very significant and very, very important.
So now that the whole thing is out there.
Just a few more points, if I can just
yes, please. Yeah.
Was this investigation against India? No. There were 17 media organizations, and they were in 45 countries. And if you look at that, which were the countries that were
target specifically?
Which were the countries that were there? I mean, there were a large number of companies that included Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Morocco, Rwanda, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, United Arab Emirates, and so on and so forth. Second question, how many journalists were under surveillance? At least 180, of which more than 40, about 49 were in India. Now the government is neither confirming nor denying. I want to know, has the government spent my money? I'm a taxpayer to buy software to spy on me. So I am merely making a point.
So who paid for it? Why they paid for it?
My phone, yes, I agreed to my phone being scrutinized because I felt this would be in the public interest. That's why I did it.
Okay.
And I am very, very concerned and deeply unhappy that this has happened. Yes, in the past, phones have been tapped.
Yeah.
Ramakrishna Hegde, the former chief minister of Karnataka, had to resign from his post as chief minister because of a phone tapping scandal. We keep hearing every now and then. You know about Neera Radia's conversations that were leaked and tapped. You know, her phone was tapped. But the point is, was the law followed? Did the Secretary of Home Affairs give his prior approval before these phones were tapped? I'm not at all sure. I think this is just the beginning. We are going to see a lot of controversy.
Unfortunately.
Let's see what are the other names. Are there names of politicians involved? Do they belong to the ruling party? Are they ministers? Are the other names of politicians? Are there other constitutional authorities like judges? We don't know. Let's wait
All we
and
can do
watch.
is wait and watch for what names comes up next. Yeah.
But it is, Janvi, believe me, this is a very, very important point. And the government is denying it. NSO is denying everything. They're saying we haven't done anything wrong. I'm sorry to say, I do not believe in what the government is claiming.
Okay. Yeah, so
All right.
we'll surely sir put across this point. And also I wanted to request you, like there's another reporter with me. She would want to also talk to you and ask a few questions specifically in Hindi for our audience. So if that
All
works
right.
for you,
Okay.
I can. Yeah.